Hello.
Buongiorno.
Bonjour.
Firstly, Danny, no remarks around a certain area of the world and our guest.
Okay.
Leave it there.
Okay, I promise. I'm promising.
Yeah, Mike, you weren't here. You've only literally just joined the conversation.
Yeah.
Danny
Am I
has
not
been-
allowed to smile?
No.
Danny, like, I'm surprised Matt's still here, to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
Honestly,
no.
has he been giving you some stick, mate?
He
Like,
give it back.
honestly, like, you know, I myself don't mind. It's more like if you're worried about your podcast being destroyed, you know. I don't give a shit. So if you want to go
I don't think technology can catch coronavirus. But then again, it might have hybridized by now.
Probably.
Yeah. But anyways, Matt Legg, welcome to the show. You giant quiff thing, you. Look at the size of that.
It's
I love his
amazing,
shirt.
that
I love
is.
his shirt, and I love Hoss's shirt.
Oh, yes.
Everything's intense. All of this is intense right here.
You are so intense. You're on fire, Matt.
Mate.
I think we need. Can you do some Blue Steel impressions for us?
So what?
Blue steel.
Pout. Blue Steel. Pout.
Yeah. Give us a good pose.
Right. Daniel.
Yeah, there it is.
Oh, brilliant.
I love it.
You know what? By the end of the year, I'm going to have so many influential, like, screenshots and stuff to sort of ruin people. It's great.
Yeah.
Welcome. You okay, Mike? You
I don't want to. I can't talk about it.
Have you got a beer?
No, I'm not drinking. I'm off. Yeah.
Oh,
that's how bad it
why.
is. Do you know what? I was off last week, and I'm not joking you. I was buying a crate every 2 days of pint-sized cans, and it was like, right, I'm not going to drink anymore now. So, yeah,
ever,
not for a little while.
Little while is like 10 minutes for me. So
I'd love a beer now. Love a beer.
You know what? I've got the Coke Zero tonight.
Oh,
I'm not. I'm behaving. I had an eventful evening last night.
Oh yeah.
What?
Tell us all about it.
So I was bored and I was doing a bit of tidying up, and I found a bottle of port.
Oh yeah.
And I've learned something, that when you've had no carbohydrates in your system for like nearly 2 months, a bottle of port doesn't need to be a bottle of port, and 2 glasses of port is enough. And literally, like within 40 minutes, 50 minutes, I spanned, and then I was just like, I'm hungry. Fuck it, I'll have a pizza. And I had a pizza. And
see, a lot of people say this about alcohol. It's the rubbish mistakes that you make after drinking as well.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? It's the kebab you eat and then the full English the next morning.
Yeah. Alcohol leads to bad decisions, and bad decisions are carbohydrates.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this morning I've woke up and I feel like a hippopotamus. I'm bloated. Yeah, fuck you. But yeah, so that's all good. So I didn't go for a run this morning because I felt like I'd fall over. But yeah. Anyways, Matt, how are you? Are you okay?
I'd rather Kushti, I would say. Kushti, bring Kushti back.
He's chilling, look.
What's your situation now with regards to what's going on, Matt?
So the main shit thing is I haven't got a good laptop. So I normally work in one of the university libraries, and with the whole lockdown, I can't go and do work, so that's a bit irritating. And then paid work is gone, so I'm gonna say goodbye to that extra money. But other than that, week before lockdown, I got a dog, so great timing.
Yeah, absolutely. What dog have you got?
So it was originally a stray. So the previous owner adopted it from centres that take in like Romanian rescue dogs.
Mm-hmm.
The previous owner adopted him from there, but he had some issues which they couldn't quite deal with, so I ended up taking him. But I did a DNA test, and it's like 12.5% German Shepherd, 12.5% Italian Spinone, which for those who don't know is a
nice.
And then the rest of it is unidentifiable mutts. Like there's so much like crossbreeding with this thing, is they can't identify the other breeds. But it's got some sort of spits in it at least, because it's got the sickle tail. So it's at least one stick or multiple spits mixed into it. But again, you can't tell because DNA test was like, nah.
Now, what we need to know, right? Because there's a thing that dogs always look like their owners. So obviously, Mike's got a ginger dog. Now that unfortunately that isn't the dog for you. It hasn't got a quiff.
Nah, he hasn't got intense hair dye. You know, he needs intense hair. Although his tail's a bit quiffy. When it curls over, it's a massive like feathered tail. So you could say that's almost like a reverse quiff.
Okay. I've never seen you without your clothes on off. So yeah. Okay. So your lovely son your mother-in-law is here.
Oh, hello.
Not
Bless
yours.
her. Fine.
Dave. James.
Afternoon.
You know what?
Afternoon.
Ryan
yo.
Costello is the first
Hi.
person to say hello every single week. You know?
Oh, do you know what? I was going to say that. As literally as it goes on, hi guys, every week.
Yeah, literally. It's like you must have like an alarm or something. Okay, so Matt, over the years, I've known your pretty face. I don't really know what you keep. I know you had leeches in a table at one point.
Yeah,
so,
yeah.
Okay, so do you want to run us through what you keep and then possibly get some animals out to show us?
Yeah, sounds good. So
We don't need to see the leech feeding though.
No, I've already fed the leech a few months ago. But
You feed it yourself, Matt?
Yeah.
I've seen a few people do it.
Are you covered in scars? That's my question.
I've got a scar when I last fed him. Wait, where the fuck's camera? There it is.
Little shit bag. It looks like you've been in an abusive relationship or something. That's
terrible.
Yeah,
so at the moment, what do I keep? If I switch the camera around, okay, switch the camera around. So obviously there's the dog, little cum stain. Some shitty fish.
Coronavirus company.
Yeah, and then I've got some corn snakes in here. So also Sod's Law. I've had 3 bulbs blow over the course of 2 days, which is great. So I've had this bulb blow. So that's the replacement's coming in the mail. But I've got this, which is a Cuban racer.
Oh, nice.
If I switch camera around, so she's quite calm right now because she hasn't got the heat on her. If I switch camera, I hate technology. Boom. So wait, how the fuck?
An Asian that hates technology. What?
I know, I'm the worst one.
Yeah.
So
it's picking up the colour. Yeah,
that's nice. Really nice.
Yeah, so I got her about a year ago because I didn't want a snake. I really didn't want a snake. But
what are you fibbing for?
Honestly, it's true. The guy snake, no one else would take it because this guy bought it from Ham, and these guys, for those who don't know, in the wild, these mostly eat reptiles, amphibians, sometimes crabs as well. And really large females, like really large full-grown females, might take the odd bird here and there, but they don't really take mammals.
No.
And he spent 6 months trying to get this thing to eat mice. And it's a wild caught animal. He was told it was captive. It's one of the things. He was told it was captive bred, but he sort of didn't know it wasn't really captive bred. And basically, he tried getting to feed on rodents, wouldn't feed on rodents, got really skinny. And then he asked me, and I was like, no, fuck off. I don't want to. And he asked a bunch of other people in the area, including like Ben Owens and stuff, and they were like, no, we're not dealing with this. And then he came, and then it escaped. And he asked me, look, if this thing turns up, can you please take it? Because otherwise it's going to die. And I was like, well, I've got a bunch of frozen snakes and lizards in the freezer, so fuck it. So that's how I got this thing, which if I flip the camera around, there she goes. I'll put it underneath the light more, and you can see a bit better. So this is like a little shitty holding cage for her, really. So yeah, the whole, I'm going to be making a whole animal room. So there's more stuff on the other side. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get rid of everything on this wall, all the cages. I'm going to make one big cage for the Baron later in this enclosure, which is hiding.
Awesome.
If she turns up later, I'll show you guys her. And then, as I said before, there's some corn snakes in here, which one of the other bulbs blew, which is annoying because that's also coming in the post. And they're going to go into a bigger cage as well because I know, I think Danny knows. I'm not sure if Dan and Mike know, but I used to keep him outside in outdoor enclosures when I lived in South. Oh shit! It's a mating. Oh,
There you go. Oh yes,
Well, it
lizard
was
porn.
mating. It was
Lizard porn.
Well,
yeah.
But that's the
got some
fucking
porn there.
podcast gone. We're going to get banned now for fucking indecent exposure.
Showing pornography right there. Well, yeah. So we saw a little bit of endless mating, which is quite nice, and they'll probably carry on later on once they're not so disturbed. Once, so sort of scare them shitless a little bit. Nice. So yeah, got some porn just there.
Yeah.
But yeah, so
You're the biggest cock vlog, you know that.
yeah, I know. Yeah, he's fucking pissed. He's just like, dude, what the fuck? So
I was in there.
yeah, so basically, this old enclosure, see where there's like expanding foam on the walls and there's exposed bits. So originally, this old enclosure had all of the rocks and stuff attached to the walls, but then I had to move, and I couldn't obviously carry the whole entire viv intact. So then I had to bust it apart, and I did consider reballasting it. So before when it was the original enclosure, you couldn't see any yellow because it was all like that sort of sandy, gritty ballast right there. And
Yeah.
But I thought about redoing that, and I thought, well, everything's gonna get moved out of here. So in a few months, there's no point because they're gonna go into a bigger cage. Because my main thing is, I'm not looking to get more animals right now. I want to more get animals that I've got into bigger enclosures. So like the corn snakes in here, they're gonna get a 6 feet long, 4 feet front to back by 7 feet tall enclosure.
Can we have how many corn snakes are in there? Can we have a close up of that?
Yeah, go for it. Yeah. So there's 3 at the moment. So two of them are mine, and then I sort of have a flatmate in the sense of there's a person who used to live here, but she doesn't really live here anymore. She's not been here for other than like 2 days this February when she came up for a meeting. She's not been here for over a year, and she's not really going to be coming back, to be honest. But her dad owns a flat, so she has a room here for herself if she ever visits. But one of the other corn snakes is hers, so she was like, "Can I try and put mine in there?" Because and what I find quite interesting is you'll see when they've got so how the basking bulbs go. Obviously, there's normally 2, but one's blue. But they end up having multiple basking spots because they got like that back bit there where that one is. They'll have the bit on the side there. Also, the heat travels up on these crossover ones, and also into lower branches, so they can bask without touching each other. And I found that they'll do like these weird little head twitches where if one's basking and the other one's approaching it, and it's like, no, dude, fuck off. They'll do little head twitches, and the other one does head twitch back, and then we'll go and actively avoid making contact.
Bask somewhere else.
Yeah, and it's quite interesting because just the main thing is giving them space. So obviously they've got the nest box hide there, but they've also got loads of hides in here. So they can always easily avoid each other. And yeah, there's going to be a water area at the front in the big enclosure they're going to get, because I also keep some frogs and toads in here, which the snakes don't bother. They leave them alone. Because I tried it out a few years ago where at first I got some marsh frogs, and I obviously and for those who don't know, I mean, I assume everyone listening knows, but in case, marsh frogs aren't native, so I would harvest them to use as feeders. I would put them down first, and I tried feeding them some marsh frogs. But, hey, do you want some food? And they wouldn't take them. And then in the outdoor enclosure, I put in some frogs and toads, just see, because I was like, well, see if they live, see what happens if they get along with each other. And the snakes don't bother them. I think because the snakes they know the toads are toxic, and then they associate the frogs with that. And you often find the toads, like there's one up basking with a snake. I'm not sure if you can see it.
Where is he?
And the stress response the toads normally do when they see that grass snake and they puff up. They don't do that. They're not bothered. Like, open up the door. There you go.
Oh yeah.
Wow.
No way.
And the main thing is what I do is every spring, because I brumate the corn snakes and also overwinter the frogs and toads. Every spring, what I do is I get a toad out first, and I don't like hurt it. I just like irritate it. I just give it a few little pokes so it starts secreting some toxins, and have the snakes like investigate it, kind of make sure they know, oh yeah, that's toxic, leave it alone. And I've never had issues with them. I'm not telling people to do this. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying you know, with my lot, it's not been an issue. They've left them alone, and I've done it for years. I've never lost an animal to any issues with a species like.
Fair enough.
Yeah, but again, you've got there's a lot of space. You know what I mean? So like,
Yeah,
the odd person wouldn't even keep a corn snake in a V of half that size. So the fact that it's a fairly big enclosure, you're using space really well, and the frogs can get away. You know what I mean as well.
Yeah, exactly, and that's the thing that's a big part of it is also like even if you had like say even a bit of like this one here, I wouldn't do it. I wouldn't recommend it or do it because there isn't that space to avoid each other. So with the space they've got here, it's a case of if they're happy to be with each other, they can be. If they want to avoid each other, they can avoid each other and still hide or still bark and not be affected in regards to any kind of extra stress or things like that. And so in the water area, I'm going to put some fish as well. So in the new enclosure, there's going to be a water area at the front, and then there's going to be some fish going on in there.
It's going to be a serious cage, that is, Matt. I look forward to seeing that.
Yeah, 100%.
Hopefully by September, it should hopefully be done.
I'd expect it to be done quicker than that in the current climate, mate. You got nothing else to do.
It's more a case of money. That's the main thing.
Nothing gets delivered.
But it's like I said earlier, this wall is going to go and become one big enclosure for the balance racer. And I'm going to do a water area in the front of that one with a bunch of like South American like tetras and like that. So
nice. Matt, I'm sorry if I missed it, mate. The couple that was having a bit of how's your father? What were they, mate?
Okay, those are Emerald Swifts.
Okay.
And
have you just got a pair in there, or have you got a group in there?
Just a pair at the moment, and then because last time I had babies, I sold them all on. But this time I'm going to keep some and use them to trade with other people who keep them, and then just make sure I get a larger group. But I'm going to do that once in the beginning. So what the plan is these guys will probably go either in this cage or a bigger one, or one the same size, but it might be bigger. That might be further front to back, and then I can have a little group of them going on in there and have them chilling out. But at the moment I don't want a decent sized group in that size enclosure because I'd feel. Like another female will be fine, but I don't want any extra males in there right now. But once they're in something wider, then they will have 2 males in there. Because I used to have them in a larger enclosure of 2 males and a group of females. It was like it was how many females was there? I think it was 6 females and 2 males, and then I sold off most of the group when I came up to uni. They just had their own little territories, and they'd like head bob and do things like that. But when they'd come together, they wouldn't like hurt each other. They would just do like sort of like pinning and wrestling, and then leave each other alone. They weren't constantly chasing each other. But also there was also 2 basking spots. So there's a basking spot for each male as well, which I think is a very important thing if you try and keeping like more social, smaller lizards together. Is kind of watch what's going on and give them loads of places to hide and avoid each other. And if you've seen one's always been constantly booed to a corner, then you need to change the situation up. And whether it's removing the bully or whether it's removing the more submissive animal, sort of go with the flow, really. That's my personal opinion, at least. I don't care what I think. It's up to you.
No, you carry on, Mike.
I was just going to say, I'm a snake keeper, so usually keep a solitary. But when you keep groups of animals, whether it's primates or lizards, you have got to be constantly checking just to see that hierarchy. And like you said, then whether that's removing the one that's bullying all the others, or you're taking the one that's getting absolutely nailed, out of the situation, because they can get quite aggressive towards each other, can't they?
I think as well, obviously we're supposed to be keeping snakes on their own and not in groups because that's frowned upon. But I've done it successfully for years, and again, it's giving them the space and doing things what like Matty's doing there, giving them multiple places to bask, giving them areas they can avoid. So if they both want to bask and they need to compete for the same area, you may go into certain problems.
It all depends on the species as well, doesn't it?
Like there are like I'm not against, as you can clearly see, I'm not against keeping different species together or multiple groups of species together, but it's about kind of being sensible. So some stuff I wouldn't ever even attempt. So, for example, like any of the king snake species or any like milk snakes, I wouldn't even attempt them. A lot of people,
You know, I kept Bismarck ring pythons together, and they want to eat everything. And I had Bismarck ring pythons together, and they're fine. They scrapped every now and again, but it was more of a case of I don't know who's got bigger bollocks. They never, you know, try and eat each other as such. That's because they were able to get away from each other. I think the enclosure was big enough. I think if I'd have kept him in a smaller enclosure with less hides, then I'd have ended up with one Bismarck.
Yeah, and that's the thing. It's very much like knowing what is eaten in the wild, and also knowing, do you often find like the thing like corn snakes and stuff is they will from time to time that you will find them in close proximity to each other. When if you've got another species which will naturally, even if it doesn't eat other snakes, but like for example the whole Cuban race I've got there, I wouldn't keep her with another one. Partly I don't want to breed her. I got some people like, oh, you know, breed her, but she's an animal that I've only got because it's a case of either I take her and some people being interested in her, but they would only give her a smaller enclosure than what she's going to get in the future. But she's really an animal which I don't feel comfortable with her in captivity, to be perfectly honest. I don't like if I could ship her back up over to Cuba, I would. Because while she's a small snake, she's really and she's not active in the sense of just, you know, slowly cruising along. She'll like, you know, race on the floor.
Really dark, really flighty.
Yeah, and that's why I'm never going to breed her, because I don't want to put more of them in the pet trade, because they're an animal I don't feel personally for me should really be in captivity. I mean, at the end of the day, if someone else has one, I don't care what you do because it's your life. But as that animal is under my care, and I can choose whether I breed it or not, I'm purposely never going to breed her. And hopefully, once I get my own place, and you know, whenever that happens, if she's still around, I want to have a greenhouse. And then once I've got a greenhouse, I can just like throw her out in there, because she's gonna get a 6 foot long by 4 foot wide by 4 foot high enclosure, which is still quite a bit of space for a snake of her size. But I still don't think that will truly be enough than what she really needs. But it's a case of how I view it. She has enough of quality of life in captivity to not, you know, get her put down. It's something that I don't feel comfortable with it in captivity. Will make more sense to be in captivity, to be honest.
Yeah, and I think it's how we've all spoken about it before, haven't we? So there's a difference between minimalistic keeping or doing as much as you can, and obviously you're someone who wants to always push and push and push. And I suppose, like you know yourself, Danny and Mike, I got to the stage where I was like, just sick of it. Morals getting in the way. My head, this, that, and the other, and it comes to a point where, okay, well, I need to start doing more now. If I'm going to carry on keeping, I need to start improving what I'm doing. So you know, I've gone my next thing, I've got a carpet which is in the Viv just down in that one there, and the two Vivs above it are for children's pythons. And the ones that I bought are hatchlings. I was always after babies, you know. But I'm putting a hatchlings with 3 foot Viv, and you can't really see it because of the way the lights are going, but you know, again, trying to do more, trying to do better, and warrant being able to keep them. Because morally, every animal in captivity, in my opinion, is selfish. So we just need to make sure we're doing the best job we can. But yeah, obviously we could talk about this for days. Do you want to talk about what you're doing at uni a little bit?
Yeah, so at uni, I also go to the other side where it's more animals. So at uni, I'm doing zoology with herpetology. So at Bangor, it's got the course in herpetology as well, which obviously has been a bit disrupted because of the whole coronavirus, and also we had was it 5 weeks or 6 weeks of strikes before Corona, so it's been a bit disrupted, to be honest. But so I'm at uni doing that, and I've also been doing some ecological consultancy work as well on the side, which has been a bit of extra money plus, you know, experience and things like that, which is all.
What are you hoping to do, Matt, when you finish your degree? Have you got any plans, anything set yet?
I've got nothing set, but how I've kind of planned. I've planned things to be flexible. So I've got like flexible plans. So I'd like to go full time into the ecological consultancy. And I've also considered maybe on the side getting into dog training perhaps as well. Like, I've got quite a bit of experience with like helping other people, as in like friends stuff with their dogs, and be like, oh, that's what's going on, or training the owners and be like, okay, the dog knows what it needs to do, but you know how to make sure a dog like listens and stuff. So that's something I've considered doing. It's like the new dog I got now. He's actually quite a challenging dog because the main thing with him is he's a really independent dog because he used to be a stray, and it's not a case of a stray where it was like an old pet that was dumped on the streets. It was like born on the streets and grew up on the streets.
Yeah.
Right.
So it's very used to making its own decisions. So when I've been doing a lot of work with him, which has been quite good. So that's something I've considered. But the main thing is I want to stay in North Wales. I like North Wales. So that's the main thing that I
You're the only person in the world who likes North Wales. Every time I go up there, it's grey.
Honestly, it gets a lot of shit. But I think I was talking to my mate the other day about this. I think the reason why North Wales gets a lot of shit in regards to, especially like the weather and stuff, is because a lot of people who are from Wales that move to like England, for example, a lot of them come from South Wales, and South Wales weather is pretty shit. Like it is shit. But North Wales, it's actually really nice in the sense of over winter it's really shit, and you get storms and stuff in October and also in January and stuff. But once you get into the warm part of the year, it's pretty consistently warm and pretty consistently sunny. At least when I've been living.
I went to Colwyn Bay last August working, and I thought I was colourblind. The place was that grey. I was like, it was great when I got back through to Chester and on the way back home. I could start to see colour again. It was great.
It's like obviously it's still the UK, so you do get rainy days, but at least because I've lived in Suffolk, I've lived in Lancashire, I've lived in Hampshire, I've lived in Dorset, and now obviously I live in Gwynedd. And honestly, like the Bangor area is my favourite area to be. Also like people as well. Like I like the people in Lancashire quite nice. In Suffolk, they can be quite nice. It depends on like what part you go to. In Hampshire, everyone's just like
Suffolk shit.
So tunnel visioned in what they need. They plan on doing. They're like fuck off. Ew. don't acknowledge my existence. Like you might be like, hey, and then they like glare at you, and I'm like, okay, well, whatever. Okay then.
That might be because they're looking at you quiff, to be honest.
I mean, maybe. But like,
look, there's fucking Jedward on the streets.
Look, an Asian Jedward. No, it's like in North Wales, like you can be like, hey, or it can be like, or it can be like, like Borodar or whatever. Because as I'm planning on living here quite a long time, I feel it's important for me to find the language. And so you can like sort of if you talk someone in Welsh straight away, like really really happy. And even if you speak to them in English, it's still really.
Completely off topic, guys. But don't you think if Matt comes to Doncaster, we should pin him down and we should bleach that quiff? All right.
Yes.
Don't smile when I say pin him down. He's literally.
I'm just readying my body. I'm imagining it.
Yeah. If you like an Asian version of Johnny Bravo as well.
Mate, I'll send after this. I'll send it to you. There's a photo of me from when I bleached my hair because I had it green. I've got a photo of me before I dyed it, so it's like this bright orange, like Trump-like. It's just,
Here's a question.
Somebody put a picture up, didn't they? The ones of Matt and Johnny Bravo, and it's really good.
Here's a question. In this lockdown, we can only assume you run out of hair gel. So how the fuck are you sticking that up? That's what I want to know.
Do you know what it is actually? I've not put.
I know what it is. You don't have to tell me. He wiped his mouth.
Off his chin.
In there. Look.
Honestly, I've had this since I was like, but now it stays like naturally. It stays. But the only time it comes down is like if I've washed my hair and I didn't bother like drying it, I just like left it naturally dry, then it will spend a few days like hanging down and gradually like go. And the next time I wash it again, if I like just push it or whatever, then it just stays in place. because I've had it for so long. They're sticking up, so it's just like okay.
He's looking at the camera. He
suit
knows
you.
none of us believe him.
It does suit you.
Like
Right,
it's good. All I can
anyways.
say is,
Anyways, Johnny Bravo, shut up. Show some more animals.
yeah. So animals. Blah blah blah.
Not the ones in your hair nesting.
Okay, so these are my Chinese flying frogs, which
No, they're not. They're mine.
every what? I don't know. I can hear that. And anyway,
that
every time,
fucker is not going to fly. He is way too fat.
like they actually, I've got a really cool video of them in slow motion actually gliding. It's really cool actually. But every time someone calls them white tree frogs, I cry a little bit inside. I'm like nothing wrong with white tree. I'm just like, but no, but yeah, these are really cool guys. So that's a female. There's a male down there. And so this is where they're living right now. And you can see they've got their water down there. I'm not sure where you can see it, but it's all covered by leaves and stuff. So you can go for a little secret soak. And so yeah, so for those who don't know, these guys, chocolate mush potash. No, for those who don't, these guys and other members in the genus Rhacophaurus, they have webbing between their toes. So when they leap, they stretch their toes out and then glide and increase their surface area. And
Danny can do that as well.
Just like take off his top and just fly.
And I have 6 fingers too. So
it does look incredible when you see the videos, though, doesn't it? Of them literally.
Yeah. It's pretty cool. And also for those who don't know, these guys are foam nesters, so they won't go in the water to breed. They'll actually go on a branch overhanging, and they'll make a big foam nest, which is pretty sick. So I've got some ferns in there, but they're going to be moved out of this, so they're going to go.
I didn't lock it.
Oh, they're going to go yeah, no, I did lock it. So
oh, thank God.
And when she's moved out into the big stage, then both flying frogs are going to go in this cage.
Is that Mrs. Baroni?
Yes.
Nice.
So, Matt, did you say you live in Gwinnett?
Yeah, I do. Yeah, I'm in Bangor.
Yeah, I think Luke's family's it's got a farm in Wales, haven't they?
Yeah, nice. But yeah.
Oh, right, okay. JR, he's getting a little bit cocky there, mate.
Size down, dude. You need like 3 sizes down.
No, I wouldn't.
He's doing well. He's losing it,
mate. Well, once I've lost it, I'm fighting fit. I'm gonna find you, JR, and I'm gonna strangle you with this fucking t-shirt. Size down. Amazon, it's great, isn't it? Although I'm pissed off because I thought I was special and I got this, and I was the only person with it. Ambrose has got one.
As a.
So I posted up in our group. No, I didn't. I posted up in our group chat thinking everyone would be really impressed. And Ambrose like, 6 shirt, bro. Got it last week.
Yeah, I actually love the fact that I forgot to tell you because I thought you knew already.
No, I didn't. I literally bought it and ordered it so it was here for today so I could wait for the podcast.
What's in the little glass tank, Matt?
In a little, as in, I'm shit with technology. So, yeah, no, in here, there's some fire salamanders. So you can see there's one chilling down here. So these aren't actually mine. I'm taking care of these for a friend. I took them.
He's got a lot of other people's animals, isn't he? I'm starting to think he's a bit of a thief.
Yeah.
No, but basically there's 2 fire salamanders in here, and basically there's a student who was coming up to Bangor. And she was asking, like, could I take him just for the year, so she doesn't have to, actually rehome and get rid of them. There you go. Or do that.
They're cool.
And at first I was like, if you need someone as an emergency, I'll take him, but see if there's anyone in your area first. And then they went to someone in the area, but then that person was like concerned about if they're keeping him right. So then when the owner told me about it, I was like, just bring him here. So I've had him since like October or whatever.
So if any keepers are going to uni and they need someone to home their animals,
if you contact Reptile and Chill, it's £5 a week, and we'll get Matt to look after them for you. Yeah. We're paying Matt 50p.
Mate, last year, I had so many animals like dumped on me because people found out where I lived last year. That's why like this year I've been like quite quiet about where I live because I've had a bunch of animals like dumped on me. And when I say dump, I mean like I had like I suppose I'll show you her. There she is. But yeah,
She's
I
cool.
had this tarantula posted through the letterbox.
No.
I think what happened, I think a student had them in halls and got caught with them. That's what I'm assuming, and then knew where I lived, so like dumped it through the letterbox. So like this year, I've been quite quiet about where I live because I had like a cane toad dumped, I had a bunch of other stuff dumped. But yeah,
That's disgusting, really.
Yeah, it's
Well,
quite.
I think you're missing a trick here. So like, you can get them dumped, right? Pass them to me, and I can flip them. It's gonna be great.
I know we're saying yes. Oh God, I'm sorry, I'm doing a hoss. I know we're saying you know, it is wrong and whatnot, but I think it's better. You know, you're dropping him into somebody who knows what they're doing rather than we had a load found in a bag that was just chucked into like
something happened. Something happened today. 12 snakes, Yorkshire. Mike.
Contagious. Sorry.
But at the same time, I see where Matt's coming from. There's only so much you can handle in there.
Oh, absolutely.
And they should be going down the right routes, really.
That's the thing. Like, I'm happy to help people. Like, if they mess me up, I'm happy to say, look, you know, either I'll help you find a home for it, or depending what it is, I am happy to take it and then look at rehoming it. But it's more when he came back and there's a bag in front of my door. What is in the bag this time? You know, that's more.
That's shit. That is shit.
Yeah. But you know, with the fire salamanders, so that was like fully consensual. That was that they weren't dumped, and they'll be going back to her when she moves into place next year. But I whacked this together because I was like, hey, do you mind if I make it look pretty? Because I'm going to be the one stuck with it for a year or so. She's like, if you're happy to, then sure. Then I was like, yeah, no, that's fine. And she paid for the materials to use. So I just whacked this together.
Looks lovely. Looks really nice. That does.
Going back to that thing, 12 royal pythons were found in Yorkshire. A couple of them have died. Someone's literally just thought, sod this, and just released them.
Matt Clark has just said, round by him in East Yorkshire, mate. Yeah.
It's awful, isn't it? You know,
because there's so many people that had them.
Yeah. Well, there was something in Birmingham yesterday. And it was 2 carpet pythons, and I haven't found out exactly what's happened with it, but it's some form of landlord issue or something. And I had a call from someone. It was like, look, we need to get these snakes now. So they're in Yardley.
There you go.
Let's have a yawn off.
This is right. Okay, well that's the other side of Birmingham for me. But you know, if needs must, I can go get them. I've got nowhere to keep them. They're going to be in rubs, but I can hold them. I can, if the potential of something going wrong. However, this person lives that side of Birmingham. They might be able to get there quicker and sort it. And as far as I'm aware, it's been sorted now.
Yeah, I think it was.
That's what we need to do. We need to help and support each other. And don't get me wrong, I didn't want 2 jaguar carpet pythons.
No.
But if it means
you'd rather that than see them dead.
Yeah, you know what I mean, or them suffer or whatnot. It's happened a few times, hasn't it? I know you guys. We saw that one blood python on Pre-Loved. Danny, you saw it.
Yeah.
And I contacted him straight away and was just like, look, I can take it off you. That had actually been moved on to someone before I was able to get in touch. And I just said, look, great, wicked. If that person comes back to you or has any problems, keep me in mind because I'll take it. I'll get it rehomed properly. It's shit, man.
Just a quick something. Just Calvin's mentioning about the video that we did, and he shared it around. So thanks for sharing it around. I think it was really good. Hoss put that together.
It was good.
Well done, mate.
Yeah, I want to say as well, there's a lot of people that sent in their videos, and I couldn't get them all in. So we'd have ended up with like a 7 or 8 minute video. So
we could do a second one, maybe.
So I think you should edit the second one.
All right.
Yes,
You'll have it by Christmas.
iMovie, just stitch them all on iMovie.
You
mate,
know what?
and
No,
send it out.
I use InShot on my phone. It's so easy.
Yeah.
Oh,
yawning,
Hoss.
God damn you.
Oh my damn it!
Matt, what else have you got to show us, Matt?
Oh shit! Yeah, no, I was saying if the Leech was still out. You were talking just now. The Leech came out as a. Where's he gone? Where's young Flubber?
Young Flubber.
Flubber.
That's such
No,
a good name.
Can I just say, before this is finished, can we see your wardrobe? Because you've always got really, really nice shirts on.
Amazing.
I would say yes, but at the moment it's all on the spare bedroom bed.
I imagine it's loud as fuck.
It's very loud. I was saying before we went live, I was saying I've got a really, really loud like blazer thing. I'll get that out in a second. But yeah, this is a shit little town where Flubber lives right now. Later on, I got a bit more money. I'm gonna get some more plants, get some more wood in there. But he used to live in his old home. He used to live in this thing. That's what he was kept in before I got him.
Well, I mean, you can say, "Oh, this is his shitty little tank," all you want, but it's 500 times better than it was.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you can definitely see, Matt. You know, you're constantly talking about you're not happy with the enclosures you've got now, even though they've got loads in there. Yeah, and you just want to upgrade everything. But
there we go, got him. Yeah, like a lot of my reptile friends here are like, Matt, like you're always like bitching and moaning, but like it's still a lot better than what a lot of people think. And I'm like, yeah, but I don't know. I'm always moany about my stuff. But yeah, that's the Leech there.
That is actually quite cool.
It looks like he's quite big. So is he recently fed? And tell us a little bit about that, Matt, because I think although people will go, oh my God, that's horrendous, but I find it absolutely fascinating. I know they're used, medically throughout the world. Do you want to tell us a little bit about it, mate?
Yeah, so all the leeches. So this is, I'm shit at pronouncing, but I think it's like Verbia. I don't know, but it's like it's the Turkish ones.
Is that right, Hoss?
I'm not really well read on leeches, although I've got something to say after this.
It's like Hebrew. I don't know. I am shit with pronouncing these names. Anyway, I'm very much like when it comes to scientific names, I can see it on paper. I know what it is. If someone says it, I know what it is. If you ask me to say it, I'm like, I'm
the same, mate.
I'll tell you what, I'm actually really surprised by the patterns on leeches.
Yeah, they're actually quite
amazing. Yeah.
Guys, the next Doncaster, can we all buy each other a leech?
Yes.
I
don't know where to keep it. Where would we keep it?
Mike, did you just say no?
I said possibly.
I mean, possibly. You've been after a death pet for ages.
I think I want to get something like, some stick insect type thing, something that I can take some cool photos of.
You don't want to buy something that you've got to feed yourself to.
No.
So that's the main thing with keeping these guys is obviously the fact is because I know a lot of like German people and a lot of Polish people, they feed them like cow blood, but that's because they can get hold of it. But obviously, there you go.
Look at the pattern on that. Yeah, it is amazing.
Yeah, it literally looks like a snake.
So
the thing is, though, I suppose
I will add before forgetting is so the fish in here, these are 3-spine sticklebacks, and these guys are really, really small. They don't hurt leech. Like the males get territorial around their nests in the breeding season, but again, it's so small they can't actually hurt them. And the filter, the leech can't enter the filter because a lot of filters I will add. You've got to be really, really careful when it comes to leeches because of the fact that they can wiggle into a lot of space and get, mangled up.
Yeah.
But the filter here, he can't enter, but because a lot of it is because he's a really, really big individual. Like,
he's huge.
He's a big old boy.
He's like the one in Stand By Me that attaches himself to his balls, doesn't he?
But yeah, it's interesting because the thing with a lot of leech groups is you have a lot of like super hardcore, like anti-modern medicine, and they're like, oh, leeches can cure cancer and blah blah blah. I'm like, no, they can't. They really can't. Like the thing that annoys me with a lot of leech groups is because of some of the claims they make online, it makes people more skeptical about the actual benefits of using them.
Yeah.
So they are used, and like they can be prescribed even in the UK for treatment for people who are like diabetic. So
Yeah.
you know when you get like reduced blood circulation and
Anticoagulants, isn't it?
yeah, and like your toes and shit might fall off. Well, if you put the leeches on those areas, they force blood to enter those areas and help to keep the limb alive and keep the blood circulating. And there's a lot of legitimate research with them. And the whole cancer thing is, if I remember correctly, it's when there's like an enzyme in the saliva, which when that enzyme is isolated and then added and then injected directly into like cancer cells, it stops them from duplicating, which is very different from being like, oh, I've got breast cancer, I'll whack a leach on my chest.
Yeah. There's a difference. There's a difference
Yeah.
between slowing it down and curing it. Yeah.
Yeah. And again, that's more of a case of what they're looking at doing is about synthesizing or like replicating the enzyme.
Where's he going?
Use it as a treatment. There you go. He's just climbing up. But the main thing also is a little land area, so he's got a little area of moss to go up onto if you. And I say he, but this species are hermaphrodites.
Yeah.
So you do get some species of leeches which you do have male and females, but then you get this particular species, and most of the ones you see in the pet trade are
asexual.
Yeah, they're like a little hermaphrodite.
Do you actually see them? Do you actually see him on the little land bit?
Sometimes I mainly see them in the water, but every now and then I'll see it on the land bit.
So how do you breed leeches? That's what I want to know.
You just like whack them together. Like I say that, but I mean, a lot of people struggle with getting them to breed. I've never attempted breeding this leech, so I don't know. At some point, I might get a little friend, and then he can have a little go at.
Patterns on that are intense.
It is, yeah.
Okay.
That's insane.
And how often do you feed it, and for how long is it stuck to your arm for?
So how often I feed it is about twice a year.
Okay, is that all?
Yeah, that's it. I'll pull him back out for you guys. But yes, basically, there you go. Yeah, so about twice a year. For a full-grown one like this, for younger ones, every few months, you'll do. And he'll be attached to me for about an hour to an hour and a half, and then drops off.
And what's that feel like, Matt? Do you feel them? Do you feel that initial bite, or is there like an anaesthetic?
Yeah, they release an anaesthetic. You feel a very slight prick. And when I say so, I mean literally a needle injection is a lot worse. And again, I'm not saying that they hurt, but in comparison, that shows how little these things hurt. I will also add is when you do feed them, you've got to be quite sensible. So there was someone in the area that had one, and he nearly passed out a few times because he fed
just
him
let it latch on.
Because what he would do is he put it on his ankle. I don't put them on your ankle because the issue is the blood takes ages to congeal and coagulate.
Yeah, you bleed like crap after, don't you?
Yeah, and when it's on your ankle, gravity's pulling your blood down, so then obviously you've got more blood coming back to the area, but also he's constantly rubbing on your socks, and so it can't actually when it does start to stop bleeding, you can't it keeps like disrupting that. So I always feed mine on like the wrist normally. The only time I fed it on my leg was because when I very first got it, it wouldn't feed anywhere else, so I fed it on my leg. But again, I sort of planned out the rest of my day to allow for that, and allow for me keeping it up and bandaging it back up and all that sort of stuff. But normally I feed it on my wrist just because then it's easier to keep away from being rubbed, as well as keep it up of my head and all that sort of stuff.
I will say it's a weird thing to keep. Like, it's cool, but it's just like, I'm going to buy this leech and I'm going to feed it myself.
Be fair, I didn't want a leech.
The leech wanted you.
Yeah, someone bought 3 leeches from from Doncaster, and then from my understanding, what happened is he bought them in one of the Doncaster like October shows, and then he bought 3 of them, and then he left Bangor in the February afterwards, and he didn't take the leeches with him, and he left them in the cupboard. And then one of his housemates found the 3 leeches in the cupboard in I think it was late June, if I remember correctly, and where they'd just been left. And 2 of them were already dead, and they're like, I need this leech to go somewhere, and I was like, fuck it, I'll take a leech. So that's how I got Flubber.
Fair play to you, Matt.
I think this leech is like the most famous like individual pet in Bangor, I'm pretty sure, because like whenever I get drunk, I go to the pub. I'll meet, because I'm very much older, see people and be, oh, you seem interesting, I'm going to chat to you. And I'll be like, do you want to see my leech? And I show them a video of my leech, and then they actually find it interesting. So then they're like, what the fuck? But they're like, that's fucking cool, but disgusting at the same time. So, and like, yeah, this leech is a bit well known now in the area.
Yeah, Fatima's saying that Flubber is royalty.
Yeah, they love Flubber. So yeah, Flubber's little, a little lad, a little mascot. So say, I don't know, I'm just spouting shit now.
You just started talking shit.
Now.
So some tarantulas in here, baby tarantulas in this one, and same in the back. And I'm just putting this light back on.
I'm trying to look round the tank. What's in there? Not gonna work.
But yeah, so that's what he's in. That's what he's in. I'm just gonna make it look pretty in the next few months. So in here, I had a little June geckos. I don't know if you've seen me like posting them at all or not on Facebook, but they live in here. It's like, was it Stenodactylus? I think it is how you pronounce it. But again, my pronunciation is really shit when it comes to this sort of stuff. Main thing I found with these is that a lot of people keep them, but they keep them on like half a centimeter of play stand or like a centimeter of play stand, and that's it. But I find these guys really like to dig. So you see how deep their substrate is. You see it goes like from here right up there.
Like 6 inches on.
Yeah, like in the lowest areas is 6 inches, and the highest areas is around 10 inches. Like in this end of this. There's nothing in this tank. It's an empty tank, by the way. That was an old breeding tank that I've moved to. So that's all my marble deeds, which I'll show in a second, and I've moved them out now. But yeah, so I find these guys like to dig really deep, and they dig out proper little tunnels. So that's what I do mine on a really deep substrate. It makes removing the eggs a pain in the arse, and I killed one of the eggs the other day because I went to remove one. And I gently managed to get in the I spent like 20 minutes digging this thing out, and it was like about 4 inches down, and I managed to gently get onto a teaspoon. And as I was moving it to the tub, the dog comes over and like nudges my hand and be like, "Oh, give me a stroke." And I'm like, "Oh fuck," because when he nudged my hand, I knocked it, and the egg fell, and it went splat.
Straight in the frying pan.
Yeah. The eggs are literally like this big, like.
That's bad. Right. Anyways, I'm getting conscious of time because we've got a podcast to record. We've got an international guest as well this week.
Have we?
We have
international guest.
Well, he's not an international guest. He's from Northern Ireland, but he's in the States now, so I guess he's international. But yeah, it's been really good having you on, Matt. You and your dog and your quiff. It's been great.
Yeah,
and Flubber.
Hey, so I think that's about it for this week. I did have something to say, but I'm going to say it on the podcast, so you're going to have to tune in.
Okay.
Not Monday, following Monday.
Tease.
Yes.
Who's on this Monday? Oh no, Owen's just come out, hasn't he?
Owen's just gone.
Rob
who?
Rob Louth.
Who's that?
Rob Louth. Animals UK.
Oh, it's that guy, wasn't it?
Yeah. And then he bought one of our t-shirts, and he was like, "I'm cool now." Yeah. Yeah, it's been really good having you on. Oh, look at him, bless. So,
yep.
Here we go. Right, okay. No, there's the banners. Okay, so firstly, people are getting confused, and people need to listen to this. It's really important. So this is not the podcast. This is just our live stream where we chill out with someone and hang out and talk crap.
Have a laugh, be childish.
Yeah, man. The podcast is a lot more serious, and that is available on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, and most podcasting platforms. If you do want to help support us, then please go on our website, which is www.reptileandchill.com. You can look at our merchandise, our hoodies, t-shirts, pillows, backdrops, mugs, dresses, bras, and stuff like that.
Got
and
bras
again,
now.
Oh, I need one of them.
I need a bra.
and join us next week, 7 p.m. UK time on Wednesday for another live stream. That is about it.
Can we sell Matt Legg hair quiff gel?
You know, I think we should start doing like beard balms and like reptile and chill beard combs, and I don't even know what you'd use to comb that.
A hedgehog.
Yeah, no, I actually use an old dog brush actually. You know, what winery one. I use one that I bought first hand and just use it for that.
You're not making it sound any better.
I advise a horse comb. I think that's probably more better. But anyways, that is about it for this week. Thank you for coming on.
Yeah, thanks for that. It's been really interesting, mate.
And I suppose, love you, bye.
Wait, I can't do it. I can't do it.
Rubbish.
You know what?
Love you, Matt. Love you, Matt.
If you loved us, you'd do it. You'd find a way.
Mm-hmm. Thanks to all the listeners for joining in as well tonight. Thank you.
Take care and keep safe. Keep indoors. Don't do anything stupid, and don't drink port. Port leads to bad decisions.
Not when you're on a diet, anyway.